How do you find great employees? Employees that will share your philosophy, will care about your guests, and have excellent attention to detail. I will explain how to make recruiting the right hotel employees easier. Welcome to another edition of Hospitality Property School. I am your instructor, Jerry McPherson. If you haven't subscribed yet, do it now. And make sure to hit the little bell so you'll be informed when I upload a new video. You won't want to miss anything I designed especially for you. Recruiting the right hotel employees to help you achieve your vision is one of the most crucial steps to making your entire hotel business run by design. It is now time to consider the kind of organizational culture you want in your hotel, because you must not recruit staff until you are clear about what type of people you want running it. You can always train, but finding the right people with the right characteristics to build a profitable business with the right culture is not always easy. Just as your ideal guest, you should also know your ideal employee, so you know exactly what you're looking for.
In a perfect world, you would clone yourself so you would know everything is done to your satisfaction. Unfortunately, we do not live in a perfect world, and you will need help. Depending on the size of your operation, this can be very time-consuming. So how do you find great employees? Employees that share your philosophy, follow your operations manual, will care about your guests, are willing to bend over backwards to offer service, and have a great attention to detail. To begin with, when advertising a job, don't waste your time interviewing everyone who sends in an application. There's a way to weed out many applicants by using a simple technique when writing the ad. In the job description, instruct to anyone replying to include a specific word or phrase in their cover letter, a word or phrase you have placed in the ad. For example, football. When you receive the applications, just plan on reviewing those who have included the specific word or phrase. This shows attention to detail and is a start in the right direction.
Continue reading, and I will share what you should be looking for in a candidate, right after a word from our sponsor. Question for hotel, resort, inn, bed and breakfast, etc. owners and managers. What if, knowing how to open your hospitality property doors post-COVID-19 and giving your guests such a safe and amazing experience that they will not only want to return, but will rave to their friends, family, and colleagues about how great your place is, was as easy as cooking? Sound weird? Let me explain. Reopening your hospitality property using the post-COVID-19 action plan. No guessing, no testing, no wasted time. Just follow the proven recipe and make your property cook. Click the link for more information. And happy cooking! Before the break, I said I would share what you should be looking for in a candidate. When it comes to interviewing, you will have two options: unstructured interviews and structured interviews. If an interview is unstructured, it doesn't mean you don't have to prepare questions ahead of time. An unstructured interview allows potential employers to ask different questions to each candidate, which could become an opportunity for an employer to judge candidates based on who they will get along with, as opposed to whether the candidate is qualified for the role. A structured interview is the process in which candidates are asked the same predetermined questions in the same order. It helps you minimize bias or personality preferences that could otherwise affect your decision to move forward with a candidate. What should you be looking for in a candidate? You have to look at your priorities. Do you want candidates with more hard skills or soft skills? Most companies hire based on hard skills because it's easy to make decisions on such binary questions as, do you have 3+ years of experience on the front desk? Or do you understand booking systems? But with such variability in a position's requirement, Does the answer to that question really help you qualify a candidate? In today's travel industry, soft skills are becoming more important, and you need to look for specific elements during the hiring process. You look to see if the candidate has self-awareness, self-regulation, motivation, empathy, and social skills. These are the 5 elements that make up one's emotional intelligence. When it comes to hiring individuals, emotional intelligence is really something you have to identify through face-to-face conversation. Can you hear the excitement in the candidate's voice when they tell you about their work experience? You'll be able to judge. Self-awareness. Have they shown a genuine interest in helping others on their team? Self-regulation. Does the candidate know their own strengths and weaknesses? Motivation. Does the candidate speak about their previous company? What relationships did they build? Empathy. Do they have the ability to understand and share the feelings of others? And social skills. How did the candidate handle a frustrating situation or a missed goal? Look for these cues in the interview stage of your hiring process, and make sure to value those skills just as highly as any technical skill or relevant experience. You can always train candidates how to make a bed. It's much harder to teach emotional intelligence. Interestingly, most properties don't train their employees for soft skills. According to a study by a global human resource consulting firm, only 11% of senior leaders are effective at displaying empathy and maintaining others' esteem. Here are a few suggestions. Make sure your on-site content is optimized for job searchers. Do your job descriptions contain keywords that a job seeker might type into a search engine? Are you using their diction? Use social media to demonstrate your company's culture, values, and mission. Social media isn't just a high-level marketing strategy, it's often a candidate's first touch point with your business. You can try starting at LinkedIn group where prospective candidates can ask you questions. Put your own Twitter handle on your career site so candidates can tweet you messages and follow your posts. Use specific qualification that candidates can quickly identify with. Your goal should be to build trusting relationships, showing people that your business cares to develop their skills and help them grow in their careers. Once you have done this, you'll have a much easier time approaching your perfect candidates when that perfect opening comes up.
During the first interview, start with your business's history, experience, and philosophy, and then give the candidates your property's responsibilities guidelines to review. Meet with each applicant individually to discuss their reactions and feelings about the guidelines.
Structured interview questions. To create structured interview questions, you must first craft a detailed job description with all the necessary components of the role as well as any nice-to-haves. Once you have a job description, which should be included in your operations manual, use it as a guide to write a list of hard and soft skills you're looking for in a candidate. Next, you'll want to create a list of role-specific questions. For instance, you might consider asking, give me an example of a time you had to, and then name an important job skill. What do you think will be your biggest challenge with this role? What excites you about this role? Tell me how you would handle, and then name a specific job challenge. These questions will vary depending on the role. You'll also want to gauge the candidate's interest in your company in general, as well as their work ethic. Here are a few general structured interview questions. Can you tell me a little bit about yourself? What do you know about the company? What's your greatest professional strengths? Alternatively, what are your weaknesses? What is your greatest professional achievement? Where do you see yourself in 5 years? There are structured interview questions you might want to ask to get a better sense for someone's leadership skills, willingness to learn, or ability to handle themselves under pressure. Now take a look at the following structured interview questions divided by category for further inspiration. To rate leadership ability. You have indicated on your resume that leadership is one of your strengths. Describe an experience in which you used your leadership abilities. Tell me about a time when you delegated a project to others effectively. Tell me about a time when you took a lead in a team project. What was the project outcome? Can you recall a time when you had to give negative feedback to a colleague? How did you express this feedback? To rate dependability. If your manager asked you to complete a task you thought was impossible at first, what did you do? Tell me about a time when you had multiple important projects to finish and how you prioritized them. To rate willingness to learn. Tell me about a time you failed at a project. How did you try to avoid failure? What did the experience teach you? Tell me about a time when you had to learn something you weren't familiar with very quickly. Which other companies in the hospitality property industry do you admire? Why? Is this making sense so far? Let me know by leaving a comment below. Now keep in mind, a structured interview has plenty of benefits, but of course it also has some drawbacks. A structured interview leaves little room for building rapport. When a candidate answers a question, you move on to the next question, even if the following question has little relevance to the candidate's unique response. If you feel a structured interview is too rigid for your workplace, but you still want to use the general guidelines to ensure fairness in your recruitment process, you might consider a semi-structured interview as an alternative. A semi-structured interview still requires you to create a list of open-ended questions and subsequently ask role-specific questions. This type of interview also provides more opportunity for you to tailor the conversation naturally, either by excluding questions you feel are redundant or by asking follow-up questions when you feel it's necessary. Ultimately, a semi-structured interview requires you to follow a predetermined set of questions, but allows it to feel more conversational by nature.
The next phase is very important. Role play with situations they'll probably encounter at your property. Make it clear you do not want them to answer the way they think you want them to answer, but to react the way they feel would be right. This should be done for every position at your property. You have to remember, your priority is customer service, and all your employees have to embrace this. As studies have shown, the better the customer service, the higher the profits. Hire those who show empathy, kindness, and humility. Now you might be thinking, wait a minute, isn't experience more important? Emotional skill cannot be taught. You cannot give staff the wish to bend over backwards for your customers. Hire for the emotional skill, train for the others.
If you're a member of the Hospitality Property School group, as a bonus, I'm going to share the procedure for your employee's first day. In conclusion, provide a professional experience through the interview process. The candidate experience is instrumental to giving a candidate a positive feeling about your property. And remember, emotional intelligence and soft skills are often more impactful to a hospitality property employee's success than their technical skills or existing experience. Hire for character, train for skill. Where have you found your best employees? Let me know in the comments. We cover more in all aspects of operating a hospitality property in the Guide to Owning and Operating a Hospitality Property Successfully course. Take advantage of the current course special. You can find more information at keystonehpd.com/course. You will have access to this episode for as long as you would like, but to see all the bonuses you would have access to as a member of the Hospitality Property School group, check out the short video in this episode post show notes. In our next episode, I will talk about 6 strategies for contending with hotel staff shortages. That's it for today's episode. Till next time, have a fun day. If you haven't done so yet, make sure you sign up for the weekly Insider Tips. Say hi in social and join one of our groups. And make sure you get your free copy of the How to Improve Your Hospitality Property Success. You can find all of the links in the show notes.